Good morning and welcome to Juma Private Game Reserve. My name is Brent. On camera with me today is Andrew, and in FC is Alex and Tara. For those of you who might be new viewers, we are literally live. So what I'm seeing, you seeing by a few seconds. I'd like to welcome everyone, and it's going to be a great drive. It's been a fantastic start already. As you can see, we've got a hyena, and we've got a male leopard up the tree with an impala kill. It's been a nice, easy start for us. We haven't come very far from our camp. If we have a look just over my shoulder through this fence, we'll see a light and a wall there, and that is final control. So that's where the office is, and we're literally 50 meters from it, sitting with a male leopard and a hyena. Incredible patience that hyenas show at leopard kills. Just feeding off tiny scraps that drop and hoping that possibly the leopard's going to make a mistake and drop a much bigger piece of meat. So you can see still quite a bit of meat left on the impala. So I'm confident that the leopard's going to be here for a while, unless he drops it, and the hyena will then make off. Oh, is he eating the eye at the moment? There was an eye there. So just to remind everyone that we are interactive with the audience. You are able to send us questions about what we're seeing and about the African bush. So you can send those questions to via email, questions@wildearth.tv, or if you're on Twitter, just use the hashtag Safari Live. So we're just going to go over what's been happening in the bush, sort of a news catch-up, so keep you guys all up to date with the bush news. So yesterday, or probably last night, this leopard killed the impala, and he stashed it up the tree to protect it from hyenas. And for those of you watching yesterday morning, it was pouring with rain, so we weren't actually able to go out, although Stefan and myself did manage to go out and go track a little bit, and we did find this guy, but he wasn't eating. He was lying in a bush hiding from the wet. And as I'm sure everyone can see, it's very grey, cloudy skies this morning. Sorry guys, I just got to take the other radio. I'm chatting to the other game drives. Go ahead. FM, make your way. Best access is, there's that little link road that goes between Vuya's and Yuri's house. If you're coming from the dam, you'll get my visual from that little road. So FM. So, just to let you know, there are obviously some wonderful safari lodges that we operate on their areas. So we operate on Djuma Private Game Reserve, where we are at the moment, and Arathusa Private Game Reserve. So there are other vehicles around, and what they do is they've got people on safari, and they drive around, and we all work together. So obviously the more of us out there, the more of us tracking for animals, the more animals we find, and we all try to help each other by communicating over the radio. Also, so we're sitting with the leopard. Sean's on his way from Arathusa, and he'd like to join us. Wow, he's really getting stuck in. He's going to try probably open the brain cavity at the moment. The brains will have quite a lot of nutrients and high in minerals. And when leopards do make a kill, they will go for those sort of high sort of, well, what's the right word for this? High nutrient areas. So generally the first thing they'll eat is sort of liver, kidneys, lungs, heart, and then brains, eyes. But they will, as you can see, he's also fed off some of the meat. So we can hear the other safari vehicle approaching now. So I know a lot of you guys out there are big fans of IDing animals, and specifically the leopards. So I'm just going to say, who can tell me which leopard this is? You can send your answers to questions at wildearth.tv, or just use the hashtag Safari Live on Twitter. Morning.
Howdy.
How's everyone this morning?
Hey. We'll start the day.
Not too bad, and I only had to travel 2 minutes from home. So just carrying on the recap from what's been happening in the bush, so the bush news. The nice thing about the bush news is it's constantly updating. Everything's constantly changing, and different things are going to let us know what's happening out there. So apart from this young male who's been on this kill for quite a while, since not last night, the night before sometime, Andrew and myself actually went out on a drive a little bit later yesterday with a friend of mine, and we actually found another young male leopard, probably about 2.5 kilometers from here. I took a photo of him. I'm not sure which one which male leopard it is, but I will definitely, when I download my card from my camera, I'll have a look. So also, what else was happening is that while we were out last night, we heard 2 different sets of lions roaring. They sounded like females to the south of us, and then male lions to the north. So a little bit later in the morning, we are definitely going to go check those areas to see if we can find any tracks and possibly find the lions. Well done, Power Funk Radio. That is correct. It is the quarantine male, or as I know a lot of you guys like to call him, Q male. So Power Funk Radio was the first in. To the rest of you, I'm sure there's a lot who got it right as well. Well done. So you can hear a squirrel, now our final control, who's woken up and he suddenly said, "Oh my goodness, what a terrible start to my morning, I can see a leopard." So you can hear him alarm calling in the background. So those are the type of things when we refer to the sort of bush news we're talking about. Different animals will let us know that other animals in the area. So a lot of different animals, like squirrels and francolins, and that leopards will eat, but very, very seldom, and generally when they're younger. As soon as they spot a predator, even a lion, they will alarm, and they're basically telling the rest of the bush, they're going, "Leopard! Leopard! Watch out! Leopard!" That hyena is just waiting for something to fall. And as the leopards get towards where they've eaten quite a bit of the carcass, and lots of pieces sort of just hanging on by sinews or skin, and they try and reposition it in the tree, that's when sort of larger pieces fall. And that's what the hyenas are waiting for. And I mean, I've seen hyenas wait for 3-4 days under a leopard carcass, just for tidbits to fall. We've got a young hyena. You can see there's very few scars on the face yet, or on the body, and the ears haven't been bitten too badly by flies. Good morning, Georgianne from Illinois. Georgianne thought Conuma young male leopard, for those who don't know, is this male leopard's litter mate, so they're about the same age. She thought he had killed the impala and quarantine had stolen from him. And we weren't out yesterday morning, but just chatting to other guides. As far as I understand, only quarantine was seen by the guides. He might have been misidentified first off. It does happen. We all do it. So I cannot be 100% sure what happened, because we weren't here. No one was here when the kill was made. It was during the night. And to answer the second part of the question, is Georgianne would like to know, if this isn't true, does this actually ever happen? It does, very much so. I mean, these two, the two young boys will definitely steal kills from their mother. And depending on the dominance between them, they definitely would try to steal kills from each other. And then the dominant male leopard in this area will steal kills from all of them. Why must you hunt when you can beat someone else and take his food? Good morning, Anne-Marie from New Jersey. Anne-Marie would like to know if there are wild dogs in the area. And if there are, would they wait under a tree like the hyena for scraps? Anne-Marie, the last I heard of wild dogs, they headed south from this area into the central Sabi Sand. So at the moment, not that I'm aware of that there are any wild dogs around, but they do move vast distances and very quickly, so they could very easily turn up. But to answer the second part of your question, Henry, they wouldn't wait under the tree for scraps like a hyena. If they weren't able to steal it outright, if it was on the ground, they would probably come and sniff around a little bit and move on. So he's perched, just that back leg on that very small branch, just balancing there while he feeds. So guys, I'm going to put it up to you. We know this leopard is going to be here for quite a while. So what would you guys like to do? Would you like to head east and see if we can go find some lions or some lion tracks so we can start looking for lions, and then come back here later on in the drive? Or would you guys like to stay here for longer? Please let me know what you'd like to do. You can send your answers to questions@wildearth.tv or use the hashtag Safari Live if you're on Twitter. Good morning, Jennifer from Toronto. Strangely enough, before we went live this morning, Andrew and I were actually chatting about that. I said it would be very interesting if lions did arrive. Probably not a male lion, but a lioness would definitely be able to get up there, and it would make a very interesting sighting to see what would happen. The leopard would probably try to get to the highest, smallest branches, and would give up his kill if lions did arrive here. Good morning, Leah from Arkansas. Leah would like to know, do lions and leopards ever fight? They do, but not really in the terms that there's a fair fight there. If a lion gets hold of a leopard, it's pretty much tickets for the leopard, I'm afraid. So leopards will generally try to avoid that and try to run away from them or climb trees. Though leopards do, if they find lion cubs that have been hidden or left alone, they will kill the lion cubs to remove competition in the area. Any news on Impala from your side?
Straight away. Did I meet you bundle? The six young females given birth to little ones.
Remember what? But
Vessels camp.
vessels.
Timbers are hanging around there now because they go to the Matilda. But yeah, there's lots around. However you need them. Right?
This is timbers were calling last night, almost the whole night. Yeah.
Yeah, we could get them from some of the camp. They call all the lines, they heads up and look like that. That's good. Got a big giraffe there. Not tomorrow. Probably tomorrow they'll be out there.
Oh yeah, cool. I might see you tomorrow. So, guys, I was just having a quick chat with Sean from Arethusa. He's letting me know on the line movements on that side. And there is some interesting stuff happening. I think that Salala breakaway pride have killed a giraffe. Unfortunately, that's outside of our Travis area. And then also, one of the Styx young lionesses has given birth to the south of us. So that's very interesting news. So there are some new lion cubs in the area, but unfortunately also not in our Travis area. So we're going to go look for those lions we heard calling last night. But for those of you who might have joined us a little bit late this morning, we've got the quarantine male eating an impala, and we're probably about 60 meters from final control. So very interesting. I mean, we had a nice easy start to the morning, 2 minutes and we were here. There's still quite a lot of meat left on this impala, so he's probably going to be here for a while. And there's a single hyena playing the patience game, waiting for tidbits to drop. There we go. As we said, one drops, and it's a tiny little piece of bone, but every little bit counts. So guys, I'm waiting to hear from you whether you'd like to stay with this leopard longer, or should we go look for some lions on our eastern boundary. Remember to send your answers to questions@wildearth.tv, or just use the hashtag SafariLive on Twitter. Well, there we go. I've just heard. Thanks very much, guys. We're gonna move on now. The general consensus is that we'll definitely come back and check on the sighting a little bit later. Being so nice and close to camp, it's a very nice one to put in the sort of what as my dad would say, put it in the bank. So you just make sure we'll keep you updated on the sighting as it progresses. I'm sure all of us will cycle through here so we can actually see sort of the whole disappearing of an impala. Yeah, let's go look for some lions.